GOAT debates never end, right? LeBron or Jordan, Messi or Ronaldo. People fight about that all day. But when you ask, who is the greatest defensive player of all time in football, it gets quiet fast, because for defenders, there is one name that keeps coming back. Paolo Maldini.
Toughest defender you face?
Maldini.
Paolo Maldini.
Paolo Maldini.
I will have to go with Paolo Maldini.
Paolo Maldini.
Maldini.
Yeah, I'm with footballing royalty here.
I'm gonna have to go also with Maldini.
You know how crazy you have to be as a defender to play at the top for 25 years, win everything, and still have strikers talking about you like you ruined their childhood. That is Maldini. Calm face, perfect hair, and 90 minutes of pure suffering for whoever he was marking. So today, let's talk about why so many people see Paolo Maldini as the greatest defensive player of all time. What made him so unguardable from the back? And why, if you are a striker, this is the last guy you want jogging toward you with that casual walk. The kid who never left Milan. Maldini's story is so old school it almost sounds fake. One club, one shirt, one city. He makes his debut for AC Milan at 16 years old. 16. At that age, most of us are trying not to fail math. He is trying not to get cooked by grown men in Serie A. His first game comes in 1985. He comes in because of an injury, does not panic, and from there, he never really leaves. For the next 25 seasons, it is Paolo Maldini at AC Milan, from teenager to captain to literal fossil, still locking people up at 41. Think about that. How many players you know stay at one top club for 2 decades, let alone 3? Modern players switch clubs more than we switch Wi-Fi networks. He plays 902 games for Milan, over 640 in Serie A. Season after season, new teammates, new managers, new systems, same left back, same number 3, same problem for every winger. Would you not be sick if you were a young striker coming through Serie A, dreaming about your big break? And then the guy your dad watched in the 80s is still there waiting for you, building a dynasty with defense. Now, let's talk trophies, because this is where it gets wild. Maldini is not one of those good on bad teams guys. He is the leader of some of the most dominant sides ever.
Offensively, it was so well done, because in training sessions in the beginning, we played goalkeeper, 4 defenders, 2 midfielders against 11. So I had to play as a right wing, I had to play against Maldini all the time.
7 Serie A titles. That is not a good run, that is a dynasty. At their peak, Milan's defense was ridiculous. In the 1987-88 season, they win the league and only concede 14 goals. 14. Some teams today give that up in a month. From 1991 to 1993, Milan go 58 league games undefeated. 58? That whole stretch includes a title-winning season where they go the entire league campaign without losing, and across those 3 years, they give up just 21 goals. That is not normal. And then we get to Europe. 5 European Cups or Champions Leagues. 1989, 1990, 1994, 2003, 2007, 8 finals in total. He shares that record with Paco Gento. You know how long you have to be at the top of the sport to be in 8 finals. And 2 of those Champions League wins come with him as captain, lifting the trophy himself. At this point, you almost want to ask him, bro, did you ever get bored of winning? You did not want to try a mid-table rebuild for vibes. How do you dominate for 25 years? The crazy part is not just that he was there for so long. It is that his level never really dropped. Most defenders peak for what? 5, 6 years. Maldini is elite in the late 80s, world-class in the 90s, and still one of the best in the world in his late 30s. In 2007, when most players are doing goodbye tours, he is winning the Champions League and getting named UEFA Club Defender of the Year at 39. 39. At that age, your knees are supposed to sound like bubble wrap every time you bend down. He is out there marking world-class forwards in finals. He ends his career with 26 major trophies at club level. League titles, cups, Super Cups, Intercontinental Cups, Club World Cup. You open his trophy cabinet and it looks like a museum. If I told you there was a defender who played for 25 seasons at a super club, made almost 1,000 appearances, and was still starting Champions League finals at 38, you would think I was telling a career mode story. Maldini did that in real life. Why he was the nightmare defender. Now here is where it gets fun. What actually made Paolo Maldini so good? Because he was not the fastest player on the planet. He was quick, sure, especially as a young left-back, but he was not some sprinter who caught everyone from behind. His real weapon was his brain. He has that famous line where he basically says, if he needs to tackle, he has already made a mistake. For a defender to say that with a straight face is crazy. But that is how he played. He did not wait to dive into last-second tackles. He tried to make sure those situations never happened. His reading of the game was on another level. Watch old Milan clips. Before the pass is played, he is already moving. He is stepping up to intercept, sliding across to block a lane, cutting off a run before the attacker even calls for the ball. Have you ever played five-a-side against that one guy who always seems to be where you want to pass? Imagine that, but at world-class speed, for 90 minutes, against the best players on the planet. That was Maldini, and when he did need to tackle, it was clean. That sliding tackle of his was iconic. He would come in from the side, win the ball, and be back on his feet before the forward even finished complaining. Left back, centre back, whatever you need. Another reason he was so hard to deal with. He was elite in more than one position. Early in his career, he is a classic modern fullback. Left back, bombing up and down the flank, overlapping, putting crosses in, still locking down his side defensively. He is not just a stay-at-home defender. He can play. As he gets older, he moves inside and becomes a central defender. And he does not drop. If anything, he gets even more impressive. Reads the game, organizes the line, wins duels, starts attacks. He plays almost 200 games as a centre-back next to Franco Baresi. In those matches, they concede barely over 20 goals. That is stupid. So imagine being a coach. You have a guy who can be the best left-back in the world or one of the best centre-backs in the world. What do you even do with that? You basically plug him where your defence looks weakest and say, fix it please. Why strikers hated him. The list of attackers who suffered against Maldini is insane. Maradona, Ronaldo Nazario, Zidane, all those names. Ronaldo has straight up said Maldini was his hardest opponent. Think about that. A guy who made a whole generation of defenders look silly, looks at Maldini and says, that is the one who gave me problems. He had the perfect mix, strong enough to handle physical forwards, agile enough to deal with quick dribblers, smart enough not to get dragged out of position. He was not one of those defenders who needed to grab shirts and pull people down. Most of the time he would just get there first, put his body between you and the ball, and that was it. You are basically reading his name on the back of his shirt for the rest of the move. The heart breaks with Italy. Now, if there is one part of Maldini's career that looks a bit cursed, it is his time with Italy. He plays 126 times for the national team, third most in their history. 4 World Cups, 3 Euros, captain, always there. But he never wins a major trophy with them. In 1994, at the World Cup in the United States, Italy grind their way all the way to the final against Brazil. Maldini plays both at left back and centre back during the tournament, covers wherever they need him, and they keep a clean sheet in the final. And they still lose on penalties. Then in Euro 2000, again, Italy reach the final. They are minutes away from winning it. And France score. Then Trezeguet hits the golden goal in extra time. Game over. Another runner-up medal. It is rough. You look at his international career and you think he absolutely deserved at least one big national trophy. But even without that, he still gets named in team of the tournament lineups and is recognized as one of the best at every competition he plays. And there is a nice detail here. His father, Cesare Maldini, was also a Milan and Italy legend and got named in the World Cup team of the tournament back in 1962. Father and son both getting that honor, 32 years apart. No pressure for the next Maldini kid at all, right? Underrated by awards, loved by legends. Here is the part that might shock people who only know his name by reputation. Paolo Maldini never won the Ballon d'Or. You have a 25-year career at the top, 5 European Cups, 7 league titles, captain of one of the greatest club sides ever, and you never win the biggest individual award in the game. He finishes third twice, once in 1994, once in 2003. He takes silver in FIFA World Player voting in 1995, wins Serie A Defender of the Year in 2004, gets UEFA Club Defender of the Year in 2007. So he has recognition, but for a lot of people, The fact a defender like Maldini never got a Ballon d'Or says more about how the sport treats defenders than about him. You know what matters more though? The way other legends talk about him. Sir Alex Ferguson tried to sign him and still calls him his favourite player of the modern era. Top defenders today, like Van Dijk and Ramos, mention him as an inspiration. Ronaldo Nazario calls him his toughest opponent. That kind of respect is the real Hall of Fame. After playing, still leading Milan. Even after he retires in 2009, Maldini does not really leave the game. From 2018 to 2023, he comes back to AC Milan as a technical director and later sporting director. He helps rebuild the squad, brings through younger players, and sets a new culture. During his time upstairs, Milan get back into the Champions League and win Serie A again in 2021-22. So now he has literally contributed to titles for Milan as a player and as an executive. He also becomes co-owner of Miami FC in the United States, still staying around the game, shaping clubs, influencing how football is played and run. Some people retire and disappear. Maldini retires and still makes life hard for forwards. What made him the greatest defensive player of all time? So, is Paolo Maldini really the greatest defensive player of all time? Look at the case. He has the trophies, 26 at club level. He has the longevity, 25 seasons at one of the biggest clubs in the world. He has the versatility, elite as a fullback, elite as a centre-back. He changes the way people think about defending. It is not only about sliding in and destroying players. He shows it can be about intelligence, timing, positioning, anticipation. He treats defending like a chess match, not a street fight. And on top of all that, he does it without drama. No wild interviews, no constant red cards, no social media chaos. Calm, professional, hair on point, tackles even more on point. If you are building the perfect defender in a lab, you probably end up with something close to Paolo Maldini. So next time people argue about football goats and they start shouting about goals and dribbles, you can drop this one in the chat. On defense, the greatest of all time might wear number 3 and answer to the name Paolo Maldini. Thank you for watching. If you like this one, there is another one to watch right after this, so do not go anywhere.